Hey, everybody. So excited about tonight's call. We're talking about retention because if you are great at recruiting, let's just say you earned your iPad because you went and got 6 people, or you earned your spa gift card because you went and got 3 people this month, or you just overall, you're consistently enrolling new people, but your points are not going up, then it's likely because you have a retention issue. So retention is one of the 4 pillars. And I want you guys to envision a building, just some kind of structure, a house or whatever, that is held up by 4 columns. And it sits on a foundation. The foundation is mindset, and the columns are the 4 skills that you need to learn. And for each one of these skills, you need to show up for these things and treat these things like a business every single day. Retention is one of them. So recruiting is one of them. Retention is one of them, which is taking great care of your customers, helping them get great results. Duplication is one of them, and leadership is one of them. Imagine if one of those pillars was missing. We have 4 pillars to this structure because when you think of a structure that has 4 columns, that the 4 columns give it stability and longevity, helps it withstand some pressure and adversity, right? Just makes it more stable. If one of those pillars is missing, what happens to the structure? Can it stand? For a while, yes. But when adversity comes, it's going to affect it way harder than it would a structure that had all 4 in place, right? So retention is super important. You can be enrolling so many new customers every single month, but if you're not helping them love their products, or if you are losing people as quickly as you are getting them, then you are going to develop what I call spinning wheels syndrome, which means you feel like you're working really hard and going nowhere very fast. Basically, a treadmill business, right? And that is not what we want. We want people, we want new customers, yes, but we want them to love their products. We want them to reorder. That is what makes our points go up month after month. Okay, that is residual long-term income. And we want people to value our brand. We want our brand to have a great reputation. So that means helping people love their products. Okay, so went looking for a few leaders who have great results in this area and found quite a few, but I wanted to highlight, I love what April said, and I love some things Leah said, and so I wanted to highlight these 2 ladies tonight so that they can share with you some tips that they are implementing that are getting them great results. Both of these ladies have retention rates that are well over 70%, even at the 90-day point. So that is very high retention. And I'm so proud of them, and everything that they have to share with you tonight is going to be very, very helpful. We do have a retention system. Abby Taylor, who's an Emerald, recorded a super helpful and clear video about what you should do with your customers after they order their products. And all you have is plug and play. All you have to do is plug into the system. But your system is only going to be as effective as your mindset. What are you believing about our products? What are you believing about the value that you're offering people through our products, et cetera, et cetera? Okay, so April's going to share, Leah's going to share, and then at the end, hopefully we'll have time for you guys to ask a few questions. So if you have a question, type it in the chat as they're speaking, and then at the end I'll come back and if I see a good question, then I'll likely ask you to unmute yourself and just ask the question. Okay, so April, do you want to go first? I'll just go ahead and turn it over to you.
Sounds perfect. All right, y'all, I am Diamond Brand Ambassador April Ann, actually April Resch. A lot of y'all don't know my last name. I have an average retention rate for 60 and 90-day retention of 84%. Now, that is not what my rates used to look like, so I'm going to share with y'all that in a little bit. But y'all, retention really does start with the recruiting process. It matters who you're recruiting, right? We know that everyone needs the products, but if you're having a hard time getting someone to communicate or getting someone to understand the importance of taking products or why it's important to, invest financially, it's going to be hard to get them results. So make sure, of course, everyone needs the products, but make sure that you're also looking at the quality of the people you're recruiting. Also, giving them proper expectations in the recruiting process, y'all. Let them know we didn't get our bodies into this mess overnight, right? This isn't a magic pill. This isn't just a fad. This isn't weight loss tomorrow, right? This is long-term healing. So letting them know that time and consistency are going to be their very best friend. And then making the products valuable to them. Y'all, a lot of times people hear Plexus and they think, oh, cool, weight loss, right? But what else is bothering them? Is it hormones? Is it acne? Is it gut health? Is it digestion? Is it mood? Is it sleep, right? Our products do so much more than just weight loss. So really asking good questions during the recruiting process is going to help to make sure that you're understanding exactly what they want the products to help them with, right? Their why. We have a business why, an opportunity why, but we also have a why for the products. So drawing that out of them. So the retention system, I have always utilized the retention system. I love it. It's black and white, it's copy and paste. And literally what I would change is I would say, hey, happy Tuesday, so-and-so. And then change it, happy Wednesday, so-and-so, right? Copy, paste, done, did my retention. But y'all, as I was tracking my results, and y'all should be checking that 30, 60, 90-day retention rate, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I don't love this. I don't love this. People were showing up on the perks, and I was like, I worked so hard to get them on the products, and now they're gone, right? So if anyone can relate, I'm about to share some tips really quickly of what has helped in the past few months for me. So the first thing that I noticed was I wasn't catering to the person, okay? So I was utilizing the 10-touch system, but I wasn't individualizing it. So I've started now to add in some extra voice clips, making sure I'm connecting with them. So whether that be going on their page and liking and loving and leaving a really good comment or asking a question, or watching their stories and engaging there, or asking about the vacation right before going into the retention system. So really letting them know that you care about them, because y'all, newsflash, they joined you, right? They didn't join Plexus. Also, another new thing I just started to do recently is getting them on the phone. And you've heard many leaders say, hey, retention, get them on the phone. And I was like, oh yeah, another phone call, right? But when I finally started to do it, I was like, oh my gosh, I just got so far with this person, and it would have took 20 back and forth in Messenger, right? And a lot of times, y'all, Messenger has that communication barrier, right? It takes a few days for them to get back, or maybe their kid opened the message and they didn't respond because they didn't see they had a message and you're left hanging. So honestly, get them on the phone. And some of my phone calls are spontaneous. I'm like, hey, can you jump on the phone? Some of them are more scheduled because my people work full time. So get them on the phone, and that way you can really capitalize on the in-person time, right? Also, y'all, if you want people to share and love their products, right, we have to make sure that we're capitalizing on the first week. Okay, so when that box arrives, we want to be excited for them. That is part of the retention process. We have to create a sense of urgency, right? Make sure they're taking their products right away. So a lot of times they'll say, oh my gosh, your box arrived. Is tomorrow day one, right? Get them started on those products right away. Don't let them sit in the box. Also, your posture matters, right? Are you excited when you're in Messenger? Are you excited when you're on the phone? Are you confident that they're going to see the results, right? Our posture truly does matter. They are joining you because they want you to help them get results. You can even be proactive, right? And you can say something like, what do you think would hold you back from seeing results with your products? And that way you can write that down and say, okay, she's saying she's not consistent, or she's saying she's a teacher, she doesn't drink a lot of water, right? So that you can help them and be their cheerleader, and constantly remind them of their goals that they shared with you. Celebrating every single little victory, that helps with retention too, making sure that they know that even the tiniest things, not grabbing the bowl of ice cream, that was me at night, that's huge, right? Okay, so I need to wrap this up. Last thing I want to share on retention is, if you are not every single day, including your Sabbath, yes, I said it, if you're not checking your perks report, y'all, you are missing out. Because there was a time in my business many years where we didn't have perks. We didn't have a perks report. But y'all, Plexus is doing the busy work. And they're literally saying, hey, go check in with this person. I'm giving you 3 days. But here's the other thing. When I have a name on the perks report, y'all, I already know why. I'm not like, oh my gosh, Susan's on the perks report. What happened? I need to go connect with her. Uh-oh, I haven't connected with her in 30 days or whatever it was. It's okay. Yep, I know Susan's on the perks report, and here's why, and here's all the things I tried to do, right? Or, oh, Susan's on the perks report. I know why. And next time, here's what I have to do better, right? So that's all I have, short and sweet. I probably could talk on this a lot longer, but basically, connection, relationship building, voice clips, time and consistency, expectations are all going to be your best friend. All right, passing it on to you, Leah.
Well, that was phenomenal. Thank you so much, April. And my name is Leah Groover, and I am very honored and I'm delighted to be sharing about retention with you guys tonight. And in the quick 5 minutes that I've been given to share, I think there is one thing that is most important in regards to retention. And guys, it starts right here. It goes back to your mindset. And that mindset is really particular to 2 different areas, I believe. First area being, are you excited? Exactly what April was saying. Are you excited? Are you excited for your customer? And take it a step further. Are you excited about customer care? The second area, are you confident? Are you confident about what your customer care looks like? As Brittany mentioned, there is already systems in place, but are you confident? Are you confident about the system? So let's tease both of these areas out a bit, because people can tell if you're really excited about getting them their results, or you were excited for them to join you. It's kind of 2 different things. So if you are saying that you want to love and serve people well, guys, that goes well beyond the recruiting process. And that should really be showing up and, quite honestly, shining through in your customer care. And this is where you walk that out. This is where you truly get the opportunity to hold their hand and love and serve people well. Okay, so when you're doing retention, it is going to require a personal investment of your time and of your heart. So this is not to say that you can just spend all day long focusing on customer care, because the reality is you absolutely could, but your business will not move forward. So it is important, though, that your customers know you personally care about them and that you're committed to getting them the results that they were originally looking for when they enrolled. So this means whether it's their first week, first 30 days, first year, you're getting on the phone, you're connecting. And the key piece here really is connection with your customers. April said it, I'm going to reiterate it because it is key. And I'll just be really honest. For me, what that looks like is connecting with my customers several times a month. And you may be thinking, gosh, I don't have time to do that. You make the time and you put proper systems in place so that you have the capacity to do that. So the other thing that is really essential when you're connecting It means that you're reaching out not just about Plexus, but what's really going on in their personal lives. Treat people how you want to be treated. And yes, this takes time. Yes, this takes intentionality. It absolutely does. But guys, it's absolutely, most definitely worth it. And maybe you're not a natural connector. Not everyone is. So go learn some skills, because guess what? It will profit you and yield you big returns. Learn how to ask great questions, because if you're not asking great questions, guess what? You're not engaging with your customer. Okay, so secondly, that second point, are you confident about what your customer care looks like? Because I'm going to tell you this much. If it's not written in your calendar, then it's probably not happening. So if you're unclear on how to organize yourself better to provide customer care, go re-watch some training videos. We have fabulous training in our team pages. Our team has a ton of resources that you can consume. But again, you have to implement the retention system that is going to work for you. And it has to be implemented. You have to take that action. And I know if you're anything like me, if it's not written in the calendar, it's likely not going to happen. So while I don't have time to go over the whole customer care and those strategies, I do want to say, schedule it in your calendar so it will happen. And when I say schedule it in my calendar, literally 30, 60, 90-day retentions, opportunities to connect with personally with people along the way. And I'm going to even tell you guys, I continue to add value even when people turn their subs off. You know why? Because that's how you love and serve people well, because it's the right thing to do. And because I know they're going to be back. So keep serving. So in closing, hear me when I say it is far less effort and energy and time and all the things to retain a customer than it is to acquire a new one. And the key to retention is engagement and connecting. And retention is key for building a legacy business. We're talking lifetime profitability here. So I want you to think about what you're thinking about as it relates to customer care and retention, and possibly change your thoughts. It's right here, guys. Get excited, get organized, and get going. All right, that's all I have.
Great job. Thank you so much, Leah. Great tips. April, great tips. Thank y'all so much. Okay, so there are a few questions in the chat. April, Leah, can one of you guys explain what perks means, what that is, where to find it, why that is important?
I will. So perks report. So basically perks, when they have their subscription turned on at the minimum, Triplex more than covers that. They will bank points called perk points, and they get to cash those in for free products. Now, on our end of things, if their subscription does not meet that minimum, or their subscription is pushed out like to the next month, or if their subscription is completely off, then they're going to show up on your perks report, which you can actually pull up in your virtual office. It's on the left-hand side. You click on the little hamburger, I think it is. Am I right, Leah? I see you nodding. Okay, good. Click on the hamburger, and I think it's under business, and it says perks report. And that's where you will see your people that are on perks. It'll show your level ones. If you have a team, it'll show your team. And if you're checking every day, you're going to find it when it says day 3. And that means you have 3 days left to help them save their perk points, their free product points, and help them readjust their subscription. Does that clarify the question?
Yes. Thank you so much, April. Okay, so one other question was, how do you figure out what your retention rates are? So this is not in your virtual office, but I'm sure all of you guys want to know that answer. So just real quick, you just, if you want to know your 30-day retention rates, then go and look and see who you can go in your points and rank up, sort by date that they joined or date that they upgraded. look at all the people who joined in February and see who ordered in March. And then you divide. So if you had, I don't know, 3 people join in February and 2 of them ordered in March, that's 2 out of 3, right? So that'd be about 66% 30-day retention. And then the same thing for the following months. If you want to know your 60-day, then go and see how many people ordered in February who are still ordering in April. If you want 90 days, see who's still ordering in May. Okay. And you can back it up as far as you want to back it up. Okay. So that's not in your virtual office, like a report or anything. That's something you just have to manually figure out. And you do that first. Look at your level ones, just your personal level ones, your personal retention. That's what is the most important to start with, because you can't teach your team how to retain if you are not even retaining your own customers. Okay. So start with your level ones, and then you could also, look at your level 2 retention, etc. April, Leah, do you have anything to add on how to find your retention? Okay, cool. One other really important question, and this question comes up often. I actually got asked this the other day, and I see several people asking this in the chat. What do you do when your customer stops engaging with you? They were engaging, you're following the system, but they just ghost you or they just stop responding. What do you do with those customers?
I'll go. So typically I default back to personal connection. I ask if everything's okay, because I'm going to assume if they're not talking to me, something's wrong. And I'm not going to assume something's wrong with their products. I'm going to assume maybe their child's sick or life's busy. So I'm just going to go back to connect with them personally. And another thing that I try and do is change up. Like if I have been messaging them on Messenger and they stop responding, I'll send them a text or I will call them on the phone. But maybe a different means of communication. And I think that's also important to find out. We may assume that they like communicating with us on Messenger, but the reality may be they don't love Messenger. So they'd rather for you to text them. So I think it's also important for us to know the preferred means of communication. But I think it's also our responsibility to just pick up the phone and be curious. Are you okay? What's going on?
Great tip, Leah. I love that answer. You have anything to add to that, April?
Yeah, I think if you prime them too during your recruiting process or even on that welcome call, and that's where exactly what Leah was saying, like you can say, hey, I'm going to be in your Messenger a lot because I want to help make sure that you're seeing all of those results. So is this the best way to communicate with you? Or would you prefer text? Would you prefer a phone call? So right away, letting them know, hey, I'm going to be communicating with you. We're going to do this together. What is the best mode of communication? And then same thing for Leah, if they're like, oh, Messenger's great, and it starts to get quiet, I'll do the same thing. I'll go text them. I'll re-engage on their page, be in their stories, because sometimes they're like, oh no, she messaged me earlier, I totally forgot. And then bing, April just commented, they're like, oh my gosh, I need to go back in Messenger. So sometimes you just have to do things outside the box, right? Outside of the system.
Such great answers, ladies. Thank y'all so much. One other great question that I see here in the chat. How closely related is retention and duplication? Is it during the same process that business builders are developed? Great question.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're going to develop a business builder who doesn't love their products or whose products are sitting in the box or who just return their products, right? So that is our job, to help them see results and to love their products, because we want them to be able to share confidently with others, right? And I think it is, I don't know what it is, but Christina always shares this quote that says something like, if they go silver, I think this is it, they'll likely be around at least a year taking their products. So it absolutely goes hand in hand for sure.
Yes, agree. Anything to add?
Well, and I think it's important to celebrate any type of wins they're having. small wins, big wins. I mean, 5 pounds, 30 pounds, it doesn't matter. It's a win, right? Being able to sleep through the night, it's a win. Whatever they're seeing, and being able to also point out their successes to them, because oftentimes people don't count things like sleeping through the night as a win until you go back and say, hey, how's your sleep going? But to what April said, if you're not communicating with your people, then how in the world would they know to link arms with you, or what's even available to them in terms of this opportunity in this business? And if you can help them see wins along the way, then you're kind of priming the pump, so to speak.
Yeah, I love all of that. And I'll just add that I think that it's not necessary that someone fall in love with their products before they become a business builder, because sometimes people are just interested in the business before they even get their welcome pack in the mail. However, I do think that that happy product users, they do make the best organic sharers. We naturally share things that we think are going to make us look good. If something's helping us, we're going to tell people about it. If we think it's going to help them too, if it's added value to us, we tell people about it. That's true no matter if it's like a restaurant, a movie, a shampoo, it doesn't matter. Okay. So yes, I do think they go hand in hand. And on top of that, retention is related to duplication, because when you are checking in with people about their products, and like Leah said, you're looking for those small wins, you can plant another seed about the opportunity. You can say, what? You slept through the night? Oh my gosh, so many people need that. Are you telling people that? So it's just planting another seed about the opportunity. So it's a way that you can follow up to help you create those business builders. So great tips, ladies. Okay. Thank you so much, April and Leah. I want to close us out with some reminders about why our products are so amazing, why people need these products, and just want you walking away with strong belief tonight in the value that you're offering to people. And we're going to do that by hearing a powerful testimony of a Ruby ambassador on our team. Becca Sauer is going to share with us what has happened with her and these products. So Becca, you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I am honored but super nervous to share my health story, because this has literally been like 3 years in the making. So the end of May will be my 3-year anniversary with Plexus. So, but honestly, I've just allowed fear and so many feelings to just hold me back and be vulnerable. So I'm going to take you guys back about 5 years ago. I was at a fertility doctor's office, and this was actually a second opinion. And I had done all of the things. I think I had given 14 or 18 vials of blood all at the same time, all the ultrasounds, internal ultrasounds, MRIs, every other test possible to figure out why we were not getting pregnant. And I did everything that I could control. All the thermometers, all the oils, the self-fertility massages, the exercise. I got rid of all the chemicals in our house. And I mean, for goodness sake, we were vegan for like almost 2 years. So anyway, some of the symptoms that I was really struggling with prior was sharp stabbing pain. I had intense pain with menstrual cramping, very heavy flow during my cycle, bleeding and spotting in between cycles. I had intestinal pain, pain with urinating, pain during and after sex that I described as just very deep pain, infertility, hormone imbalances, hot flashes, which I thought was just from drinking hot coffee in the morning, because I'm definitely too young to have those hot flashes. I had headaches, extreme fatigue, digestion issues like bloating, diarrhea, IBS, nausea, cysts, and fibroids. And I actually was sent to see an oncologist because my doctor had suspected that I might have cancer. And I guess because the cysts and the fibroids were so large. So you can imagine this emotional roller coaster that I was on. And yeah, I had just so many feelings that I was just really struggling with. And I'm just so thankful that that was not the case when I went to see the oncologist. But the surgeon that I did see, she said, if you guys were not trying to get pregnant, I would definitely suggest a hysterectomy. I was scared to death of surgery, but I really did want answers. So I had a laparoscopic done. My post-op report included a diagnosis of stage 4, which is the worst and most severe of endometriosis. It also included a removal of my right fallopian tube, and I had no viable eggs or follicles in my ovaries, which meant no IVF with my own eggs. I had been on a medication to keep the endo from growing back, but it wasn't kind to my body. My hormones were all over the place. The hot flashes were unbearable. I had insomnia because with the hot flashes, they were always waking me up. I had my blankets on and off all night long. So I was feeling all kinds of emotions surrounding this diagnosis and truth. I felt shame from infertility. I was angry at my body and even dared to say that I was angry at God. I had guilt for not being able to give my husband, Todd, a baby. I had fear that he would leave me because I wasn't able to get pregnant. I felt I wasn't good enough. I thought, what is wrong with me? I have 4 sisters. All my sisters have been able to get pregnant and have babies. Why me? And if you have ever experienced any delay in getting pregnant, let me tell you, I hated going to baby showers because although I wanted to be so happy for that mama, I was angry. I avoided feeling my feelings because then it would be true. I've had to face the facts. I was sad. I felt hopeless. I was grieving. I was praying for an answer. And I honestly had no clue about gut health. I had no idea that my sugar addiction was feeding my inflammation and the endometriosis. I thought my future would be living in daily pain or having surgery after surgery. And as you know, my now great friend Kayleen was posting about Plexus, and I boldly reached out to her and said, do you think this could help with my autoimmune disease? And she said, of course, yes. The rest is really history. These products were such a lifeline to me. They were a lifeline for my marriage and for my husband and now to my kids. And I'm so thankful and so grateful to be able to sit here and tell y'all that I don't live in daily pain, that most days I am pain-free. I don't have all the digestion issues. I don't experience all those symptoms I spoke about. I have energy, and I also don't have pain with sex, which is huge and has breathed life back into our marriage. God knew, and he knew my journey long before I did. He always provides in ways we can't even dream about. When I married niece and nephew, and we have had our kids, Olivia and Damien, since they were little babies. They are my babies, and they are God's provision for my mama heart's cry. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, Becca, so good, so good, so powerful. Go read the chat. Lots of love and lots of support. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing all of that. And we are so glad that you found Plexus and for God's provision in your life through these products and through this community. We love you, girl. Thank you for sharing. All right, y'all, that's it. Good night. Becca, I'm going to leave the chat up for you just a second so you can read through that support and love for you. But after that, shut the Zoom down. See y'all Thursday. Bye.